All right. Hope y'all are doing great. It is Code Beats, day 4. Y'all are getting in the swing of things. It is just a hair before 2 o'clock, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Hope y'all are logged on. We are going to get started for today. Check it out. Welcome to Code Beats, day 4.
Rhythm and sequence, making it pretty like sequence. Toning up on the frequency. What is the pretense? None of your defense. Ableton reason consecutively. Crashing the buggy, you'll land on the beat. 1 and the 2, so you'll land on your feet. 127, the max of the beat. Trolling the variable, writing a parable. Beat is hysterical, notes getting relevant. Just for the heck of it, sound like an elephant. Gently ascended it, none are descending it. Change the parameter, flexing capacitor. Making it shorter or Sydney is porter. Your chords on the notary jump. So importantly, rhythm and sequences while we're recording it. Rhythm and sequences while we are touring the rhythm. To sequence this beat, I'm destroying it.
All right, cool. One of the things I really like about that one, I don't know how closely y'all were listening, but if you listen in the background, you'll hear a little jumping noise, like a little Mario jumping, like boing, boing. And that's part of the beat. Why I want to bring that up is that when you're making your own beats, you can use, clips from outside of TunePad as well. You can add those in. It is possible to do that. And you can put in some funny noises too that kind of gives your beat a little bit of personality, okay? So that's something you might want to be doing. All right, today we're going to get started like we always do. Get in there to Minty. And we are going to start with today's Finish That Line. Let's see if y'all have picked up any hip-hop knowledge over the years. You can import sounds. Absolutely, you can import sounds. That is possible. I personally haven't done it, actually, but you can definitely do it. We do not have class on the weekends for people that are asking. We do not have class on the weekends. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish that line. Let's see what y'all know. If we hop in the bins, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my? How does it finish? Baby, little bay, Prada bay, or shorty A? If we hop in the bins, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my? Baby, little bay, Prada bay, shoddy A. We got about 56 people on the stream right now, so I'll give y'all just a couple more seconds to get in your votes. Let's see what you know about recent hip-hop songs. Do you know? Or do you not know? It's okay if you don't. Take a guess if you don't know. All right, here we go. We hop in the bins, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my Prada Bay? Prada Bay is the correct answer for today. And it comes from this song, Roddy Ricch, his song High Fashion featuring Mustard. Let's check it out in the context of the song. It makes a little more sense there. Here we go. All right. That's where it's from. High Fashion, Roddy Ricch. Check it out if you haven't heard it. Got a good beat for sure. Now we're starting off with music today. What I want to reiterate, okay, like when you're making your beats for the contest, it's important that you write good code. I think I'm pretty confident with this group that y'all are going to start to write good code. Y'all are really catching on real well. But it's equally important that your beat sounds cool and it follows some of the rules of hip hop. That's the kind of beats that get the best votes. So it's going to be important that you listen to Taylor. He's giving you a lot of insights into how to make your beat sound really nice. Even if you're not like a huge hip hop fan or you don't know a ton about hip hop, Taylor is kind of walking us through some of the cheats on how to make our beats sound awesome. So listen up. Here we go. Taylor, decoding the beat. Take it away, Taylor.
Hey everybody, Taylor Barnett from VC Music here with your music lesson. Today, you're going to be combining rhythm and pitch to create an original melody. Now, melodies can be fast or slow, they can have a lot of notes or very few, they can consist of nearly continuous sound, or they can contain silence. More on that in a minute. So, there's no real hard and fast rules for this. However, my suggestion for you is to start with the rhythm. That way you have something kind of concrete, like a framework upon which to lay the notes, so to speak. As we learned in the previous lesson, when we're dealing with rhythm, the first thing is to identify what the beat is, and then what the subdivision of the beat is. Today's song is Still Dre by Dr. Dre, so let's check it out and listen for the beat. So that's the beat, and each of those would be coded as a 1. Now, the chords that we were hearing, those are twice as fast, or half as long, depending on how you want to look at it, so they would be coded as a 0.5. Now, the melody can have long notes, which would be longer than 1, probably, maybe like a 2 or a 3, or it could be a 2.5. And, or you can have some faster rhythms. So you can have rhythms that are even faster than the 0.5s we hear on the chords in the keyboard. As an example, I came up with a melody for Still Dre, and the rhythm of my melody is So to code that rhythm, I would first need to tap the beat while I speak it and figure out the relationship between each note and the beat. You'll probably find this is easier to do slower than the recording, so you have time to really concentrate on it. So for instance, 1, dun, dun, dun. So that would be a whole beat, then 2 halves of a beat. Now you may have noticed that that first beat is actually silent, which we would code with the words rest and then however long. So in this case, a rest 1. Now I didn't mention this in the previous lessons, but one of the most important aspects of music is that not only can sound be rhythmic, but silences that punctuate the sound are also ways to express rhythm and groove, and they're really important. After the beat of rest, there are 2 notes that fit within 1 beat, so they would be 2 0.5s. The next 2 notes are a beat long, so 1, followed by 1.5 and a 0.5, and then a 2. I can be sure that this is going to fit the underlying music because it adds up to 8, and that's how many beats long the pattern is. Let's listen to the rhythm again and notice the code. Rest. Now, regarding what notes I can choose from, I'll stick with notes from the scale or key. A scale is a succession of notes that includes all 7 letters of the musical alphabet without skipping or repeating any. A scale can start on any note, it doesn't have to start on A. It can start on B, C, D, E, F, or G. And a scale can have any combination of sharps or flats as well to create different sounds. Technically, scale and key aren't the same thing, but we often use them interchangeably when we're talking about music. So, if we know what scale or key a song is in, we'll know what 7 notes every instrument and voice will be using to make the chords and bass line. The scale used in Still Dre is called E minor, which means it uses all the musical letters starting on E, and in this case has 1 sharp, which is on F sharp. It sounds like this. We'll draw from those same notes to make a melody that'll fit well and sound good. Now, we'll get more into chords in a subsequent lesson, but for now you just need to know that a chord is a subset of notes from a scale, usually 3 or 4, that sound simultaneously. Usually we try to emphasize those same notes in our melody for the best fit. In Still Dre, there are 2 chords, each lasting 4 beats. The first chord includes the notes A, C, and E, and the second chord contains E, G, and B. When I use these notes with my rhythm, I get E, A, C, A, B, G, E. So, in summary, pitch and rhythm combine to make a melody, and when we want to create an original melody, we first want to come up with a rhythm that'll be in a multiple of 4 beats so that it'll fit the meter. Still Dre's chord progression is 8 beats long, or 2 measures, so that's why I chose 8 beats for my rhythm. Melodies can use fast or slow notes, or a combination of both. And don't forget that we can, and probably should, use some rest for silence at some point. Once we have a rhythm, we'll use notes from the scale or key to ensure that it'll sound good with the chords and bass. Of course, you can always change the rhythm after you've come up with some notes, so feel free to experiment and make some tweaks as you go. Have fun, y'all.
All right, get an idea of how good a musician Taylor is just by listening to him jam real quick there on Still Dre. By the way, he is going to be playing for us at the final competition. If you come to the final competition here in person, you'll get to see Taylor and his trumpet, among other things. Yeah, he's really, really freaking good at trumpet. Probably the best in the Richmond area. I don't know. Definitely the best in the Richmond area. Maybe the best in the state. I don't know who's around still, but he is really good. All right, so we're talking about rhythm and pitch. We're trying to make a melody, right? So what we like to do first when we're going to create a melody is start with the rhythm, okay? So that means you just like sing a melody, but only the rhythm part. So you could be like 1, 2, ready, go. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay, you hear how that's just a melody, like a rhythm. That's just the rhythm part of a melody, okay? Da 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 da. Sounds kind of boring, but it is just kind of a, it's a rhythm. It's just got a little bit in there. Then you can think about changing those notes. So once you code up that just as a single note, you think, what would sound good? Remember, it always sounds good to have maybe like one jump in your melody and then the rest of it kind of flowing downwards or upwards, going by just this 1 or 2 notes at a time. For instance, the rhythm that I was just singing actually comes from Snoop Doggy Dogg, okay, which actually comes from Atomic Dog, as some of you might know. It's a very simple rhythm, but it's an iconic part of a rap song, okay? So you can see how a very simple rhythm ends up being a really cool melody, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be thought out. Do the rhythm first, then put in the notes. Make sure you have some silence. All right, that's the key for today. Now, Doug is coming today. I forgot. Sorry about that. It's a little confusion on my part. Doug is coming today. Today we're going to listen to, again, the most important part of this class, coding with Doug. If you can't write the code, your beat's going to sound like trash, okay? If you can't write the code, your beat's going to sound like trash. That's why Doug, a professor for 4 years in Brazil, has come all the way from Brazil to VCU to tell us what to do with their code. Take it away, Doug, and everybody's favorite segment, Coding with Doug. Check it out.
Hello everyone, welcome to Code with Doug at Code Beats. So far we saw how to use command play note that play a musical note or an instrument where we can use a variable or a constant as a parameter. And also we saw how to use parameter beats that controls for how long each play note will play. So we can use value 1, that is the default value, or values different than 1, for instance 0.5 or 2, as we have here at this melody. And today we are going to see two different new parameters. The first one is parameter sustain. With this parameter, we can control for how long each play note will sound. It's almost the same as parameter beats, but here we can use values different than the values that we are using at parameter beats. For instance, here we can play this note C for 1 beat, that is parameter beats, but we can keep it playing for 2 beats. And it can overlap other play notes that we are using here. For instance, we are playing it here for 2 beats, but together we are playing other 2 notes here that are note D and note E. It is overlapping. So let's hear it. And also we can keep for 4 beats. Then we are playing note C for 4 beats, that is a measure, but together we are playing more 3 notes, D, E, and F. Can you hear note C and together D, E, and F? One more time. Also, a new parameter that we can use here, we can control the loudness of each play note. So this parameter is parameter velocity. The default value is 100 and you can control from 0 to 127. Here we can use value 50 and here we are going to play it with a lower volume than the other play notes. Let's hear this. Here I have a melody that we can adjust using these 2 new parameters. First, let's hear this melody alone. Here we can use, for instance, the parameter sustain, and we can keep note E playing for 1.25 beats. So we are playing together note E with note A here. And we also can adjust the volume parameter, velocity, and let's play for volume 50. And also you can use these parameters with a different instrument as bass, for instance here. And finally, we can play all tracks together. I have a drum track here, kick and hats, the bass, and melody. Let's listen it. And that's it for today. We saw how to use parameter sustain and parameter velocity. Thank you. See you next time.
All right, thanks, Doug. So Doug was telling us all about parameters, okay? So we're using the same kind of command, but we can control how that command works with things called parameters. For instance, if you just do a normal play note, the play note lasts 1 beat. It just goes la, la, la. However, let's say you put a play note with a sustain too. It would go la, la. I think you can see the difference. Now, if you change the parameter velocity, let's say you put it to velocity 10, go la. But let's say you changed it up to velocity 127, it would go la. I think you get the difference. So these parameters are really important for adjusting the way that play note works. Okay, you can make it go longer or you can make it go louder. All right, I think y'all get it. Now, we're going to do this worked example first, and then y'all are going to be left on your own in the desert to complete your own. So make sure you're paying attention during this worked example so that you are not feeling so lost when you have to do it on your own, okay? Now, let's just, of course, I'm going to hit remix here so you don't get freaked out. We always want to hit remix first. And let's hear what this song sounds like. You get it. This is, of course, next episode by Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the first track in the song, melody, and complete the play note with the value with the parameter velocity so that it makes sense. And then we're going to do something in the second track. But let's just do the thing in the first track first. First track. All right. You see that velocity right now has some errors on it. That's because velocity equals question mark. All we're doing here is filling in the blank, okay? So for instance, I'm gonna go do this and go ahead and say 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Only another couple minutes for me to do this. Kind of a pain. I can do it. 50, 50, 50, and 50. Okay, so let's hear what that sounds like. All right, that sounds pretty good, but you know what? I think I want it a little louder. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little louder. I'm going to go ahead and make it 55. Wait, I'm doing a lot of typing here, guys. Can anybody tell me a smarter way to do this? What is a smarter way to do this? Can anybody give me in the chat, is there a smarter way to do what the heck I'm doing? I feel like I'm typing a lot. And remember, computer programmers are lazy. Computer programmers are lazy. We do not like to type. Is there a better way I could do this? Put on your thinking caps. Put on your thinking caps. Copy and paste would help me. You're right about that. Copy and paste would help me. But let me tell you, so y'all are on the right track. Y'all are half lazy. Half lazy. But let me show you how to go full on lazy. Check it out. I'm going to do one time where I have to do, and I can, of course, use copy paste to do this. I can put vol, which is this variable here. And then I'm going to do that one time. And that does take a second one time. But, and I am using copy and paste, so that helps me half the way. But check it out. All right, now, what if I want to change it to 55? Boom. What if I want to change it to 60? Boom. What if I want to change it to 70? Boom. I think you can see how this is the ultimate in laziness. Here we go. And you can see. All right, pretty cool. So let's hear what that sounds like with the overall track. Ready, set. Cool. That's the first part here. Now we got to go look at that second track. Let's see what we got to do there. Second track, and it says Complete the commands with a value for the parameter sustained to adjust the intro for this beat. You can use the same value for all commands. Maybe just use a constant. So, sustain. Let's see, what is this? We're using an organ. And I don't know, let's say we want each of these to go 1 beat long. So I want it to be 1 beat equals 1. And then I can, of course, use y'all's copy paste idea. Definitely do that. 1 beat, 1 beat, beat, and 1 beat. Now, let's hear what that sounds like. Sounds okay, but let's see what that sounds like in the context of the song. You know, I don't think that's quite right. I think we actually want that to last for a longer time. So what if I now, you know, I can change this. I can change this to maybe a 4. Maybe it's 4. I don't know. I don't actually know. So let's see what that sounds like. And that makes it sustain for 4 beats. All right, and then let's hear that in the context of the song. Oh yeah, that's nice. There we go. All right, I think we got it. Thanks for your help, guys and gals. I think we solved it. We're amazing. Now, it is your turn. I hope you were paying attention because now it's all up to you. If the beat sounds bad, that's your fault. Here's the beat we're going to be messing with. Sounds like this. Move it forward.
At the center like a
Here we
week
go.
later. New car, speed racer, copper crib, need acres. Most of all, we all need prayer. Karma come.
All right, so that's what the beat sounds like. Here's what the beat sounds like in TunePad. Let's listen to it. Oh, there's nothing there for the first few measures because that's what you're going to be filling in. But then you can hear things start. And then the beat's going to drop. And ready, and... All right, and what y'all are doing is go to the first track and complete the commands, okay? Y'all are completing this stuff down here in the first track. I'm not going to give you any more hints than that. Remix and TunePad, use your username and password, and y'all got just 5 minutes to make it happen. 5 minutes. Put any questions you have in the chat. Oh, I got 5 minutes to make it happen. Know if you got any questions in the chat. Otherwise, go, 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 go. those of you who already solved it, you to other tracks, try and mess with the other tracks and understand the other tracks. You're going to need to be able to understand all the tracks if you. You guys got about a minute and a half left. All right. Time's up. Come on back. Whether you're done or not, come on back so we can look at this together. This is the TunePad in class activity number 1. We're going to do this together. Now, I'm going to first hit Remix in TunePad, as y'all know. That is the most important thing. And then I'm going to go down to the first track and do what they tell me to. Okay, complete the commands play note with the value for parameter sustain to adjust so that the melody makes sense. So again, I'm going to be filling this out in a bunch of places. So let's see. I don't know that I want to create a variable. Let's just start filling it out first. Okay. So measure 1. I'm going to do a little detective work. I know that 2 beats have already occurred here. Okay. And so those 2 are done. And I know that this is another 2 beats. So I think these are all going to be. I think they're all going to be 2, right? We want this to all sustain for 2 beats. So let's do that. Well, actually, let's 2 beats equals 2. And then I can just go ahead and do this. And check it. All right, so I think that solves my problem for measure 1, but you can still see I got some problems here. but it looks like the same kind of issue. Like what they're trying to do is get these 3 beats to play for 2 beats together, and you know, to last for 2 beats together. So I think I can do the same thing here. But you know what? Let's look at what that sounds like. You can see, oh, okay, those 3 things are playing for 3 beats, or for 2 beats together. And then those, all right, that's probably okay. Let's hear what it sounds like. That reminds me of the song. I think that's probably going to be good. Let's hear what it sounds like. Got it. Great work, y'all. If y'all got that, great work. Y'all are well on your way to success. Now tell me how you feel about that activity. Let me know your feelings today. How do y'all feel? There is about 60 some people on this stream, and Doug would like to graduate eventually, although I don't want him to graduate, as I said before. He's such a great PhD student. So please fill this out. Let us know what you think about it so that we can know, hey, is this one that we're going to repeat, or is this one that we need to just throw in the trash because it's awful? Is this one that's great, pretty good, or throw it in the trash? Let us know what you think about this one in terms of how hard it is, how awesome, etc., etc. Again, we got over 60 people on the stream, so we'll give y'all a couple more secs so that some of y'all can respond. Wake up. If you're not responding, wake up. I know it's the afternoon. It's the afternoon for me too. But you gotta wake up. This is not nap time. Nap time starts at 4:30, let's say. But we're not there yet. All right. That's great. Thank y'all so much. Now, what we want to talk about next is parameters. We've been touching on parameters today, but it's super important that y'all understand what the heck a parameter actually is. So, we're going to show you this quick definition video so that you know exactly what a parameter is. Pay attention, something you need to know so we can talk about code together.
Parameters are the variables, constants, or simply values that are passed into functions. For example, when ordering a pizza, the parameters would be the ingredients given to the workers before they start the process. Or when searching online, the parameters would be the words you would put in the search box. Specifically, parameters are the variables used in the function definition, in this case, a and b. They each take the place of a value to be used in the function. Not all functions use parameters, but some use many. It all depends on what the method is doing. Remember these 3 things. Parameters are special types of variables used for functions. Only use as many parameters as the function calls for. Parameters are the way to pass values to a function. Have fun coding!
All right, parameters. We need them. Y'all need to know what they are so we can talk about them. That is a super important concept in computer science. That's how we can change how commands work, okay? Very important. Hopefully y'all got that. Now, to see if you got it, let's do another practice. Practice makes perfect. We're going to be using this beat, which you heard at the beginning of class. When the beat drops, it sounds like this. Very simple. Very elegant almost, as far as beats go, but very nice. All right, so that's the beat we're using. You're going to be opening up this activity in TunePad. Sounds like this. Now there's nothing there yet until, of course, you fix it. There's the beat starting to drop, and then at measure 6, it's going to go ahead and drop all the way. All right, so that's what it sounds like. Of course, we're going to hit remix, and then we're going to go to that first track, and you're going to be messing around with velocity today. Messing around with velocity to figure out if you can get it sounding just like you want. Remember, you can always listen to the original beat by clicking here. That's what we're doing for the next 5 minutes. Get out there, use your username and password. You got 5 minutes. Go, 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 go. Have any questions? Chat. Got about 2 minutes left. About 1 minute left. Come on back, everybody. Come on back. We're going to go through this together. In class activity number 2. I'm hitting remix, of course, before I do anything. Otherwise, I know y'all's head will explode, which is the right thing. Okay, so go to the first class in Melody and check out that velocity parameter. Oh yeah, I do see some problems with that velocity parameter. Remember, for whatever reason, they made velocity loudness. So, you know, just keep that in mind. That's why I always do like this. Volume equals, and let's say 50. And then I can go ahead and replace those question marks with that volume. And now, let's see what that sounds like, okay? See what that sounds like. I don't know, that sounds pretty good. You could, you know, we could make these velocities the same, because some of these are using 100 and some of these are using 50, but I don't know, that sounds pretty good. Let's see what it sounds like overall. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they're different. I mean, I would probably go ahead and change these to this too. I don't know why those would be different. Could be wrong on this. Doug, you speak up if I'm wrong, but I think those should probably all be the same. Let's listen to that now all together. I think that sounds better. All right, cool. So something like that would be great. Check it out. Hopefully y'all got that right. But what did you think about that one? Was that one super hard, super easy, super lame, super whatever? Just let me know what you think about it. Doug said I did okay on that one. Hopefully y'all did even better. Tell me your opinion about that activity. Easy, hard, lame, sweet, amazing, changed your life. We got about over 60 of y'all on the stream, so we're hoping to get quite a few responses from those of you that aren't napping. From those of you that are napping, why'd you leave the screen on? What you doing? So get in there to Minty and let us know your opinion. We need to know. Doug needs to graduate, and he gets real upset when you don't vote. Probably have to tie him up again if you guys don't get out there and vote. All right, I'll give you just another minute real quick. See how many of y'all can do it. And then we also want to know, what'd you think about today's music? So the music is kind of an equally important part of what we're doing. You know, the music, if the beats aren't cool, if y'all don't like the beats, then, you know, that leads to a kind of boring experience too. So, you know, I want to know, do you guys want more Sir Mix-a-Lot, or do you like the beats that we're using? Do you want to hear some more from Run DMC, or you're liking those beats that we had today? Let me know what you think. Get in there and vote. All of y'all's. Get in there. How'd you like the music today? They're okay today. Strong okay. That's fine. Tell us your honest opinion, because we need to know. All right. Excellent work, y'all. Thank you for your responses. Now, on to the after class activity. Let me show you what it is today. Here it is. It sounds like this. Now you might notice there are some things that are missing if you know the original beat. You're going to be going to that first track, and you're going to be creating a melody using some of these notes. Your melody should be 4 or 8 beats, or even 12 or 16. you're definitely going to want to use sustain to overlap notes and velocity to control the volume, okay? So right here is an example of a very short melody. You can see it only, I think it's really only these 2 beats. So get out there and you can, after class, your job will be make an even cooler melody over this particular beat, okay? That's going to be your job. If you do these after class activities, by the end of this class, you're going to be really good at making beats. So make sure you do that. Now, we're going to be starting the quiz here in just a second. Remember, use the same name that you've been using so that we can add up your points, okay? So use the same name. Let me copy that link for you and put it right in. You might want to put down your ice cream. It is quiz time. All right. Get on in there. Give you another couple seconds. We got a fish, an angel, an alien, a cat, a bee, a bear, and a flame. Who's going to win for today? Here we go. Which parameter controls the volume of PlayNote command? Which command controls the volume? Is it volume, sustain, beats, or velocity? What do you think? Which one controls the volume? I'll give you a hint. It doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. What can I say? Take a guess if you don't know. Guesses don't hurt you. Remember, if you click too fast, you might misclick, so be careful. That's right, velocity. Y'all were paying attention. Very good. Velocity is what happens, what controls the volume. And it looks like Lukey, Jane, and Audrey are our leaders for right now. On to question number 2. Can I overlap musical notes in TunePad? And if so, how? Yes, with the parameter velocity. Yes, with the parameter overlap. Yes, with the parameter sustain. No, it is not possible. I'll give you one hint. Almost everything is possible with computers. All right. Can I overlap musical notes in TunePad? And if so, how? Yes, with the parameter sustain. I'm so proud. This group is really on it today. Wow. Great Thursday y'all are having. I love it. All right, Lukey in the lead with Jane close behind. Question 3 of 5. Which notes should I use to create a melody? Which notes should I use to create a melody? Random notes? Beep, boop, boop, beep, beep. Notes from the key? Notes from the scale? Always A, B, and C. Which notes should I use to create a melody? Random notes? Beep, boop, 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 boop. Notes from the key? Notes from the scale? Or always A, B, and C? What do you think? There may be more than one correct answer. Oh yeah, most of y'all know stay within the key or stay within the scale and your melody will sound swell. And it looks like Lukey retains the lead, followed by Zlatan and Audrey. Excellent. Question 4 or 5. Which one is not a parameter for the command play note? We learned about some parameters. Which one is not a parameter? Beats, note, velocity, or sustain? This is kind of hard. Which one is not a parameter for command play note? Beats, note, velocity, or sustain? Little tricky, Doug. Little tricky, man. And a lot of y'all guessed correctly. It is note. Note is not a named parameter. You do put your notes in there as a parameter, but it is not a named parameter, which I think is what we're getting at there. That was a little tricky, I must say. Sorry about that. Well, not really sorry about that, but, you know, a little tricky. Lukey still in the lead, followed by Tamia and Audrey. We got question 5 of 5. Let's see who's going to take it. What value should I use for the velocity parameter to play it louder than the default? What value should I use for the velocity parameter to play it louder than default? 100, 127, 80, or 0. If I want to play it louder than the default. 100, 127, 80, or 0. I'll give you a hint. It's not 0. I shouldn't have told you that. Oh yeah, most of y'all know that the default is 100. Thus, to make it louder, you would have to do 127. Let's see who's going to take it today. Tight. But Lukey is our winner today. Way to go, Lukey. Followed by Tamia, McKenna, Athena, Cheneb, I think, Venture, Seth, Carolina, Nicholas, and Kitty. Way to go, y'all. Y'all are doing a great job.